Welcome inside of the Belgian forest. My name is Tim Heijen and I'm a dragon witch. And I do some rituals inside of the forest, and finally I can do this winter themed, because there is so much new energies whenever there is so much cold, because it's very cold. It's minus 10 degrees. I'm like, whoa, it's so cold, but I love this forest in every season. I don't care which, and every season has their own energies. So whenever you do a ritual inside of the forest or inside of your own house, whenever you do a ritual for the dragon, it will always feel different. And the main reason is because it's always going to be in a different season. Every season has their own energies. That is the reason why every change in the season is a draconic holiday. Every time when the season is changing, every moment in the calendar, every change inside of nature is a celebration for the dragon, because the energies change whenever it changes, whenever nature changes. Of course, the dragon is always bound, and yourself, your own connection with the dragon, is always connected and bound to nature and how it changes. So nature has also, the dragon gods are the embodiments of nature elements themselves, of course. They are going to be connected with nature. So every change in it. My brothers and sisters, when I was walking inside of the forest, actually I was thinking about something different, about something that I've seen not that long ago. A lot of people actually are making the mistake that there are, for example, evil dragons, and that evil dragons need to make sure that they are gone. There are evil dragons. There are actually no evil dragons, but we make the mistake that every dragon is so much different that we make the mistake that these dragons are acting evil. There are no evil dragons, but they are acting always different. I have to be honest with you, my brothers and sisters. I am a vegan activist, and all because of the dragon's path. Without the dragon, I would never be a vegan activist. I even sometimes do charity work. I even go against the hunters. I do things for animals in this forest, especially for this forest. This forest and all of its animals, it holds dear to me. And whenever they are doing something wrong in it, I just cannot stand it. It's just the same thing. If the dragon would live here in this forest, I would give my life for the dragon. I would give everything for the dragon. That is also what I try to do for the animals. But that doesn't mean that I have to impose you, have to inflict it onto you, that you have to do the same. I cannot do the same. Of course, I can shout it out to the world, everyone be vegan and be nice for animals, but I cannot do this in the name of the dragon. I can only do this in the name of my heart, because that is what my dragon has taught me. What I can do to you, my brothers and sisters, is to follow your own heart and your own desires and your own teachings. Your dragon will always teach you something different, as well as the dragon has taught me the ways to be nice to animals, to be good for animals, and to be good for life. I feel life everywhere, and I could even see life everywhere. Inside of animals, inside everywhere, I can see the life and the importance of life as well. Like, I would stand before a hunter and the dragon. If the hunter would kill the dragon, I would stand before it and take the bullet. I would do it. And that is what I'm trying to do for all of the animals. Because when the dragon would return, I fear that this would be the same fate for the dragon. And the dragon is my goddess, and the dragon is my brother. The dragon is everything for me. And, because we are not a religion. We are also not following one big giant lore. So, for example, you have to do this and you have to do that. And that is why we make the mistake of, evil dragons. No, different dragons. Different dragons. Because dragons are always going to be very different from each other. And that is what we need to understand from this. Every dragon is different. And that is also why you can have conflict with dragons. You can have an argument and even a fight with dragons, because you cannot agree for each other. For example, if there is a dragon in this forest, leave him alone, or leave her alone. Leave them alone. This is their territory. Leave them alone, because this is their place. If another dragon comes there, that is why the dragon's path is also very solitary. We are pretty much the same as the dragons. That is why inside of my life, they bullied me so much, They hated me for who I was. They hated me for how I looked like. They hated me for what I did. I even had hits from my teacher in my face for being who I am. They hated me for this. And that is exactly what dragons are as well. Dragons are different from each other. And that is something that we need to accept from each other, that we are so different. If not, then I would say that we all have to be vegan. We all have to do this. We all have to, because my dragon said so. My dragon said so, so we have to do this. And Tiamat said so as well, that I know that is something that I need to do. That is something that my path is telling me to do. That also, I say it out of my heart, that we have to be nice for animals, that we have to not to eat them, not to hunt them, and leave them alone. Just as I would desire that people would leave the dragon alone. That is what I would desire. But how you do your path, how your dragon is teaching you the ways, is completely different. And that is why it's so important to feel your dragon, to know what they desire, to know what they want, and to don't make any misunderstandings. Because misunderstandings are easily made in the dragon's path. That we didn't really understood in the first place what the dragon has said. And that is what happens a lot in the dragon's path. You cannot blame us, of course. It's very difficult sometimes to hear the dragon and to understand the dragon. The dragons, they are not communicating like humans do. They are not talking to you like humans. They do it with the mind. They do it with the inner ear. They do it with the inner mouth. They do it like this. And that is very difficult to understand. And in the end, we can sometimes make misunderstandings. And thus sometimes we need to go back on our path because we misunderstood something. Like the dragon's path is one giant puzzle. You know, the dragon is your brother, the dragon is your mother, father, the dragon is your friend, the dragon is your lover. The dragon can be everything. And that is the reason why the dragon is there. And that is also, your dragon is your greatest friend and your greatest teacher. There is no teacher inside of this world who can teach you the better the ways than the dragons themselves. And that is eventually what happened in 2005. The dragon came to me and I didn't really accept it. And the fault that I didn't really accept the dragon was because I felt inferior for the dragon. Because I felt inferior, in fact, for humanity. I felt inferior for them because they always looked down at me. Always looked down. And that is the reason why I thought that the dragon looked down at me as well. That is why I said to the dragon, there are much better humans in the world. Find someone else. No, not at all. And the reason why people don't like you is because you are so connected to the dragon. Because there is so much connection inside of your soul that is much more closer to dragons than to humans. That the reason why I was hit in the face by teachers, by students, by everyone actually, to be very honest. Oh my God, I was so much bullied. That I was on the brink of suicide, going to suicide, but I was stopped. I was stopped because of my dragon. I stopped myself because of my dragon. Because I'm living here, not for humans, but I need to learn. And that is why sometimes people also make mistakes, so much mistakes inside of the dragon's path, but that is allowed. You just don't come too fast to conclusions. That is the only thing that I actually ask to you, my brothers and sisters. Don't come to conclusions too fast. It's much more difficult actually to understand them. But it's also very interesting actually, once you understand them, where your path is going. Because the dragon's path is chaos. Everything is chaos about the dragon's path. So inside of this chaos, you create a path where there is no path. And that is what people actually also don't understand or like. And that is also the reason why the dragon is so much misunderstood. The dragon is, oh my God, the dragon is much misunderstood. The humans cannot understand dragons, but you can. You can, once you go inside of your bedroom and you try to connect with your dragon, try to reach out for the dragon, try to reach out for them, and just be yourself. Be who you actually are. That is the only thing that you need to do on your dragon's path. And that is exactly what I am. But of course, I can share with you, for example, what my dragon's path is saying. My dragon's path has said, be nice for animals, be nice for life, enjoy life, be good for the trees, talk to the trees. That is, that is what I do. I love nature, I love life, I love it, and it's all because of my dragon. that I became even a vegan activist. That I can say to you, you don't have to do the same, but I know that dragons love life, but it's my path. I cannot say to you, you have to do the same. That is something up for religions. And please, my goddess, don't make it a religion. I don't want the dragons be one specific thing. That cannot be. That can never be. Your dragon is always different from each other. Always. They cannot be with someone else than beside you. And that is exactly what you are. You are so different from everyone else. And like I said, they hated me for this, for being this much different than everyone else. Looking even to my face, they didn't really like it. They didn't like it, but they also didn't like my behavior. You know, I even tried to copy them. I tried to mimic them. I tried to be like everyone else, but I failed miserably every single time. That it drove me crazy. What else could I do? But in 2005, I came to understand that it was not because I was like them. I was different. And I came to understand as well that I'm not the only one in the world that is just the same thing. Dragons are misunderstood. You are misunderstood. That is exactly the same. You know, if I would transform at this moment into a dragon, into the dragon that I've seen, I would live here in this forest for all my days, and I would make it, I would protect it with my life. No one could even dare to come near. And that is why sometimes people make mistakes. There are no evil dragons, because sometimes dragons can come near to another dragon, and sometimes they can have conflict. That is exactly what dragons can have, conflict with each other. Dragons are not one brain. They can have fire and water. They are light and darkness. They are always in balanced chaos. That is exactly what dragons are, balanced chaos. And that is also living inside of what you are, my brothers and sisters. That is why it's so difficult sometimes to learn from this. Sometimes it's so difficult to understand the things from this. That is why the dragon's path can take a while to understand. That is why I cannot say to you, you have to do this. You have to do that. No, reach out for your dragon and let them say what you should do to create your path. Let them say it. Even though you cannot hear them, you can feel them. You can feel what their desires are. Inside of the palm of your hand, you can feel whatever your dragon is desiring from you. They know you like no one else in this world. No one will understand you much more better than your dragon or your dragon god. They much more understand of who you are and what you are. And that is exactly what my dragon did. My dragon, a male dragon, by my side, he understood me much more than everyone else. And that is why I followed him. And I followed him inside of a path that no one else took. And I followed him wherever I go. And to this day, I will always follow him. And that is why I say to you, my brothers and sisters, just follow your dragon. With following your dragon, you follow your own true heart.